Hello friends, this is Vinayak from VB Education and today we are going to continue with our Java interview question series with question number 2 based on the main method in Java. So the second question is, can we have multiple main methods in Java? The answer is yes. We can definitely have multiple main methods in Java, but we have to overload them. What is the meaning of overloading a method? Means the signature of the two methods should be different. The name of the method can be same, but the signature should be different. So if we have such overloaded methods, main methods in a Java program, then the compiler by default, it will execute the public static void main string array args, this method by default. And other overloaded methods or versions, they need to be exclusively called like the other methods. But if we have two main methods with the same signature, that is same argument set of arguments, then the will get a compile time error, duplicate main method in the class name. So here if I show you in Eclipse, so here I have declared two main methods having exactly the same signature. As you can see, public static void main string args, public static void main string args. So here the arguments are same, string, and we get the compile time error. Compile time error is what we see in the red line, right? So it can be a syntax error or it can be a semantic error. So in this case we are getting a semantic error. Fine. So suppose, what if I change this from main argument from, okay, well, before that let's execute the program. Let's try to run this program. Even though we have a compile time error, we'll try to execute the program. So here when I try to execute the program, okay, the compiler, it is mentioning error exists in the required project. Do you want to proceed? Yes, let's proceed. And as you can see, it has written some value in the console. That is, this is the main method called by default. So even though I have two versions of the main method, I am getting a compile time error, but the program is executing and it is showing this is a main method called by default. Okay, so it is executing this particular method. See, I have two different system out print line in these two methods, so it is executing this one. Okay, now what if I change the argument of one of these methods to int? Okay, so now will it again call the first method, that is, will it print this is main method called by default, or will it run the second method having public static void main string array args, and it will return this is a main method returning from the second main? What do you think, guys? Let's see. Okay, so first of all, here we notice that we don't have any compile time error now. So now I run the program. This time hopefully we don't have any errors. Yes. So now you can see this is the main method returning from the second main. That means the compiler has by default, it has executed this public static void main string arg array, even though we have defined first the public static void main int array. Okay, is this clear? Okay, now let's go to the PPT. Now here I have a program in which I have defined two main methods, but here in this case first method is public static void main and it is not returning any value, and the second method is public static int main, so it is returning an integer. So as you can see, system out print line, this is main method returning integer. So now let's see in Eclipse what will be the result. So here in Eclipse, what I do is, instead of having int here, I will change this to string. Okay, again I get a compile time error. Now what I will do is simply I will remove this void and change it to int. Still I have got the compile time error. Now let's try to execute this program. First I will clear the console, say run. So I get the warning, error exists in the project, proceed. Okay, so here I can see that this is the main method called by default. So even though I have a compile time error again, and even though my arguments to the main method are same, but the return type is different, then in this case the program will give errors, but it will execute and it will return what is written in the default main method with the argument public static with signature public static void main string array args. Now what if I copy this method which is returning integer and I will write it before my default method? Now what do you think what will happen? Again we are getting the compile time error, but let me try to execute this program this time. I cleared the console. I am running the program. Here it is again saying yes, the error exists. Want to proceed? Yes. Okay, so this time we have got some other result. We have got some error. And what is mentioned? The main method must return a value of type void in the class com.vinayak.interviewquestions.test main. Please define the main method as public static void main string args. So the overloaded method, the first method should be public static void main, otherwise we will get a runtime exception or runtime error as below. Okay, so hope the concept is clear, guys. If I show you the PPT, same thing I have copied in the PPT as well. So here we get the same exception when the first method is not public static void main, and instead of that I have written public static int. So I hope this concept is clear. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.